Welcome back to the Chromperfect Beginner's Guide. You are currently working through Section 1, titled Understanding the Chromperfect System. This is Chapter 3 and the last chapter in the first section. Today, we will walk through your first data acquisition run in Chromperfect. In the previous lessons, we introduced the system architecture and explored instrument status states such as awaiting download, ready, in run, and post run. In this video, we move from theory to practice. We will perform a controlled verification run using the A-test method to confirm that the system, the service, and the instrument are functioning correctly as a complete acquisition environment. Before we begin, it is important to understand where A-test comes from. During installation, Chromperfect creates several default directories. One of these is the sample data folder, which contains example methods, calibration files, and other Chromperfect resources used for training and verification. By default, this folder is installed at cp data, sample data. The A-test method is located there. This run is not a chemistry test. It is a system verification. Opening Chromperfect and entering Run. When the Chromperfect main menu appears, you will see several program options. For acquisition, select Run. Run is where instrument communication and data acquisition take place. When Run opens, you will see two main views: the Status tab, shown in blue, and the Selection tab, shown in yellow. The Status tab displays instrument condition and activity. The Selection tab contains configuration elements, including the data directory and display options. You will switch between these two tabs during the acquisition process. Before we go any further, you should remember from our last lesson that each instrument which is to acquire data must first be claimed by the user. Do this by clicking the Claim button on the Selection tab. You will see the button change from Claim to Release. The spreadsheet cells for owner's name, claiming station, and controlling station will also be populated. This indicates that the instrument has been successfully claimed and is ready to acquire data. Now we're ready. Let's have a closer look at the two tabs in the Run program. On the Selection tab, the list is shown one line per instrument because selection is concerned with the instrument itself and does not expand by detector. When you switch to the Status tab, the spreadsheet may show additional lines if multiple detectors are configured, because Status displays acquisition state per detector channel. On the Status tab, in the first column, you will see the instrument number followed by a letter, for example, 1A, 1B, 1C. Chromperfect supports up to 4 detectors per instrument. Each active detector appears as a separate line in the spreadsheet. Each active detector has its own real-time plot, its own raw file. Switch to the Selection tab. Here you will see the data directory. By default, this is cp data. The data directory is defined per instrument. If multiple instruments are configured, each instrument can write to a different file location. This directory can be changed here at any time by browsing to another folder. Also note the Show Plot checkbox on this screen. By default, this option is enabled. If this box is unchecked, the chromatogram plot window will not appear during acquisition. If you do not see a plot during a run, verify that this option is selected. Before download, return to the Status tab. On a fresh installation, the status will show Awaiting Download. If a method has already been downloaded, the status may show Ready. To prepare for acquisition, we must download the instrument. Downloading sends the governing method file to the instrument via the service and prepares it for execution. Access Download by right-clicking and selecting Download, or clicking the controller icon and selecting Download. Browse to cp data, sample data. Select atest.met. Now enter the base file name. This is required. Next, observe the cycle number. A cycle number is always required because it forms part of the resulting file name. By default, the cycle number is set to 1, indicating the first injection in a sequence. After each completed run, the cycle number automatically increments to ensure file names remain unique. Both the base file name and the cycle number can be changed at any time in this dialog between runs. Note that once a run has started, the download form is inactive and changes cannot be made until the end of the run. If multiple detectors are active, the download dialog will allow you to specify the required method and file naming parameters for each detector before confirming the download. The Attest method is configured for 2 detectors. However, Chromperfect activates only those detectors defined in the instrument configuration. If your instrument is configured as single channel, the second channel will appear grayed out. No modification to the method is required. Instrument configuration is the highest level decision. The method cannot activate hardware that does not exist. Optional identification fields include header 2, autosampler control, and calculation parameters. We will not use those in this chapter. Click OK. Observe the spreadsheet update. Acquisition may be started from the Run button in the control panel, from the Instrument control panel, or by triggering an autosampler injection. Regardless of how it begins, Chromperfect monitors acquisition through the service. Start the run. Observe the status change from Ready to In Run. The runtime counter advances. Adjust scaling using Plot Scale. Stop versus abort. You may allow the run to complete or stop it manually. To stop and save the file, use the controller icon or right-click in the spreadsheet and select Stop. Stopping closes the chromatogram and writes the file to disk. Abort terminates acquisition but does not save the file. After stopping or reaching full runtime, the status briefly displays Post-Run. During this phase, Chromperfect finalizes the file and produces the report. When complete, the status returns to Ready. Report generation. The Attest method is configured to produce a long-form report. A report will only print if a default printer is configured and available. If no printer is available, acquisition is still complete and data is still saved correctly. Entering analysis. Close Run and return to the Chromperfect main menu. Select Analysis. Run is used for acquisition. Analysis is used for post-processing. Browse to your data directory. Select Raw Files, Bound Files, or both. You should see a raw file and a bound file for each active detector. Open either file. The chromatogram confirms successful acquisition. Raw versus bound. Brief clarification. To the user, raw and bound files may appear identical. A raw file relies on the current method stored on the computer. A bound file contains a locked copy of the method used at the time of acquisition. If a method is later modified, raw file results may change. A bound file will always open exactly as it did at the time of acquisition. At this stage in the training, you do not need to fully understand this distinction. We will explore it in detail in the next phase. For now, opening either file confirms successful acquisition. Final summary, completion of Section 1, Chapter 3. In this lesson, we confirmed instrument communication, correct download behavior, proper status transitions, detector handling, file writing, clean termination, successful post-run processing. This concludes Section 1, Understanding the System. Congratulations! You have completed Section 1 of the Chromperfect Beginner's Guide. In the next video, we begin Section 2, Core Operational Workflow, starting with a deeper examination of raw and bound data files and how Chromperfect organizes acquisition data internally. If you found this training helpful, please like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. For documentation and additional resources, visit chromeperfect.com. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in Section 2.